What's up guys, and welcome to today's video. Now, before we kick off today's video, just a quick congratulations to Manchester City on qualifying for the finals of the UEFA Champions League. It was a fantastic performance against Real Madrid on Wednesday night. I had an entire intro set up for today's video about how the next 2 weeks would be so important for Man City. Because I mean they need to win today, they need to win next week, and then the week after that so they can complete their treble. But then Arsenal kind of just ruined my vibe by losing yesterday, and congratulations to City again for being Premier League champions for this season as well. I think Arsenal had really been pushing it to the wire. Everybody had a lot of hope for the Gunners, but they let it slip towards the end, and I mean, you can't do that against a team like City, especially considering City's performances have been so dominant. I think for Arsenal, that match at Anfield against Liverpool was definitely the match that derailed the entire Premier League campaign. And it's just all gone downhill for them since then. It was also a massive gamble for the Gunners because they had all their eggs in one basket hoping that they could win the Premier League this season. And it didn't pay off, but they're a very young squad. Players like Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, all of these guys are fairly young, so they're going to get another chance. And I mean, even guys like Odegaard. I think the worst fear for Arsenal fans right now is that these youngsters are going to leave to go to play to teams like Barcelona or Real Madrid or PSG. And Arsenal need to make it main priority right now to keep hold of these players. But again, well done to City. It was definitely deserved. They really came out all guns blazing. And they made it clear to everybody that they were not messing around. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Okay, as it stands, Man City are on a run of 4 wins and a single draw in their last 5. Now, that draw was against Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu, but I think City kind of came good on their promise there to go through by beating Los Blancos 4-0 at the Etihad. It was a massacre. I think the only thing that was scarier than that was knowing that it could have been worse. I think it was Haaland who put the ball in the back of the net very early on, but it was ruled out for a foul on the goalkeeper. And then he had some decent one-on-ones as well, and Thibaut Courtois just kept him out. But yeah, City started their route in the 23rd minute after Bernardo Silva was played in magnificently from Kevin De Bruyne, and he was one-on-one with the keeper, and he just left foot curled it around the keeper into the net. It was a gorgeous goal. So well done to City on that. 14 minutes later, Bernardo Silva again in the 37th minute. Again, there was some chaos going on in Real Madrid's box. They didn't deal with it. And Silva ended up getting a free header into the back of the net. Probably one of the easiest goals he's ever going to score in his entire life. But yeah, he came through, and his brace was basically what put Man City in the final. In the 76th minute, Kevin De Bruyne got a free kick, played the ball into the box. Akanji got a header. I think the ball comes off Eder Militao and then goes in, but because Akanji's initial header is on target, it still gets given to him. And then finally, in the first minute of extra time, Julian Alvarez is again played in behind the defense. City's passing is just fantastic, and the way they just know how to break lines. But yeah, Alvarez is played in one-on-one with the keeper, and he makes no mistake. City just showed how lethal and how clinical and how precise and accurate they really are. And Europe should be worried. There's definitely a treble on the horizon, I feel. Yeah, City don't look like they're going to stop anytime soon. Now, this match today, I think, is a little bit of a curveball because Guardiola knows he's already won the league, so he's not going to go all out. But I expect certain players to be rested, and I expect a lot of squad rotation to happen today. I think City go back to their 4-3-3, following their, I think it was like a 3-6-1 kind of formation against Real Madrid. So everybody will be in more natural positions, playing in a more natural way. Um, I think Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne will probably be rested for this one. Bernardo Silva just performed fantastically midweek. He deserves a break. De Bruyne, I know the media is going to make a big meal of this one and insist that it's because of the bust-up that he had with Guardiola, and that's going to be glamorized in headlines. But I think De Bruyne is going to be rested today simply because he also performed fantastically in the week, and he deserves a rest. This also gives Guardiola an opportunity to give other players an opportunity to play. So I expect Riyad Mahrez to start this one because he didn't really feature against Real Madrid. So I expect Mahrez to start this one. I expect him to play a decent role. He was integral to City the last time they played Chelsea. I expect Foden as well to play a crucial role because he also didn't really feature in the week. And he also played a crucial role against Chelsea in the last match. And I think Haaland starts simply because Guardiola wants Haaland to sort of break more records and increase his popularity and just get more for himself, increase his drive and his hunger. But I think Haaland will start, and I think Alvarez will come on because Alvarez has really just made a fantastic impact from the bench this season. That's not to say that he doesn't deserve to start, but I just think for Guardiola, rotating between these two strikers is so far his key to success at Manchester City this season. The away side in today's fixture, Chelsea, has been awful this season. There was a period where Chelsea were actually fighting a relegation battle, and with their last victory, it was hilarious because the fans were celebrating that they'd be safe from relegation. And imagine, this is a side that won the Champions League 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago, and here you are, languishing in 12th. So it says a lot. Chelsea is currently on a run of 3 losses, 1 win and a single draw in their last 5 matches. That last match being a 2-2 draw against Nottingham Forest at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea's defending has been woeful. They've been lacking creativity, imagination, purpose with their play, and it really was on full display at Stamford Bridge last weekend. In the 13th minute, Awoniyi scored and opened the scoring for the visitors. A cross from the left wing, and then he just headed it over the goalkeeper into the net. I understand the goalkeeper wanting to come out and just make himself dominant in that area, but he wasn't dominant. All he did was just take himself out of position and make it easier for the striker to score. And I think goalkeeping has been a massive problem for Chelsea this season as well. And the Blues tried. They really struggled to try and equalize. So many shots, so many attempts. And eventually in the 51st minute, Raheem Sterling got a goal. Cross coming in and him just finishing at the back post. He's got all the time and space in the world to just place it wherever he wants to. And it's 1-1 to the Blues now. And all of a sudden, now it looks like momentum has swung and it's in Chelsea's favour because in the 58th minute, Raheem Sterling again gets the ball on the left wing. He cuts the ball back and sends the defender to go and get a hot dog. And then just curls the ball around the keeper into the top right corner. And it is a fantastic goal worthy of winning any match. But unfortunately, it was not to be for Chelsea because in the 62nd minute, Awoniyi again struck following some very bad defending by the Blues in their own box. Now, this match really just encapsulates Chelsea's entire season. They've, like I say, lacked creativity, lacked purpose, lacked direction, lacked conviction. They've brought in so many players following the new takeover, players like Thiago Silva, players like Enzo Fernandez, João Felix, Madraik, and they've all just been subpar. In fact, they've been underwhelming, to be honest. Chelsea have so many problems and they really, really need to fix them. I expect them to go in all guns blazing today. They do have, I think it's 2 or 3 games in hand, but I don't expect Chelsea to finish anywhere near the Conference League spots at this point because of how poorly they're playing. João Felix has been a massive disappointment and he needs to find some sort of form very, very quickly. or else it's just going to have been a waste of his time for him to have come to Stamford Bridge. Sterling, I know there was a point where Lampard was experimenting with Sterling as a centre forward. Obviously, that's never going to work because Sterling doesn't have that physique and that build to play that kind of number 9 role. So switching him back on the wing has improved Sterling exponentially because now he's getting goals. Now he can take advantage of his pace. He can take advantage of the width that he provides. And then somebody like Enzo Fernandez as well, I feel should be more integral in the center. You expect him to know when to make decisions to go forward, when to drop back, when to go in for a tackle. But more often than not, when it comes to Chelsea conceding, opposition players are given all the time and the space to just pick out a cross or pick out a pass, and that's not something that should be happening, especially not at a professional level of football. And Chelsea really need to work on that. Hopefully next season they come back better, but I think this season they really just need to look at the season as a write-off. Honestly, it's not been good for Chelsea at all. I mean, if you're drawing against teams like Nottingham, what hope do you have against the likes of Manchester United or Arsenal or Man United? And it's disappointing from Chelsea this season. And I hope that at the end of the season they issue some sort of apology to their fans for just how terrible they have been. Okay, well, time for the S3M2 verdict. The last time Man City and Chelsea faced each other was in the FA Cup in January of 2023. In that match, Mahrez and Foden were absolutely phenomenal. In the 23rd minute, Riyad Mahrez got a free kick, and he curled it over the wall into the top corner. It was probably one of the best goals of the FA Cup, maybe even of the season. And then in the 30th minute, Alvarez received a penalty after Chelsea appeared to have handled the ball in the penalty box, and he stepped up and took it coolly and clinically. And then in the 38th minute, Phil Foden managed to get City's third. You can see obviously it was a shot being taken and the ball just somehow manages to get to his feet, and he's not missing that. That's one of the easiest chances that anybody could ever get in their playing career. And he kind of settled it for City in that first half already. Chelsea tried to fight back in the second half. I don't know if maybe it was just because Chelsea played better, or if it was because City took their foot off the gas pedal a bit. But City eventually got their fourth in the 85th minute. Again, Mahrez. There was a foul on Phil Foden in the box, and Mahrez stepped up and took the penalty, and he ended up getting his brace in what was a phenomenal performance from Manchester City. I don't see Chelsea winning this one. I mean, it's been 5 matches since they beat City. The last time they beat City was in the Champions League final, and even then it was so close. I think it was like 1-0. But since then they've lost all 5 times that they've played against City. They failed to score, so I don't see that trend changing. I don't see Chelsea scoring. I don't see Chelsea winning. Obviously, City can now afford to take their foot off the gas pedal. They've won the league already. Guardiola can afford to experiment with players and formations. Hell, he can dip into his youth academy and decide to play a squad of 17-year-olds if he feels like it at this point. And it would have absolutely no impact whatsoever. But knowing Guardiola, knowing the fact that he's got that competitive mindset and he'll want to have a tactical advantage going into every match from now onwards, simply because they want to build momentum for their Champions League final against Inter Milan and for that FA Cup final against Manchester United, I expect City to win this one by at least 2 goals. City are just on fire. 4 seems to be the magic number for this video. City put 4 goals past Real Madrid. Chelsea drew 2-2, which is 4 goals as well. And the last time these two teams played each other, there was 4 goals scored by City against Chelsea. So yeah, I expected at least 2 goals. Hell, maybe 4-0 again. It is likely, it is possible. And I just think that City are going to look to capitalize on every single error that Chelsea make, and Chelsea are going to make errors. Raheem Sterling will be crucial today because for him, this is kind of like a homecoming, but I don't think that it'll be a very nice one, simply because he is facing not just the champions of England right now, but the champions elect of Europe, and it's not going to be easy for him and for Chelsea at all. Once again, guys, thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to like, follow, comment, share, subscribe, and we hope to see you here again next time. Enjoy.